This is kind of a bad omen for Republicans as they look forward to 2026. And I think that's actually important in thinking, as I'm sure we're going to talk about, the extent to which there might be more redistricting shenanigans coming from states in upcoming months.
So, Rick, let's first employ your political scientist cap here. The resounding Democratic gubernatorial victories in Virginia and New Jersey, coupled with Prop 50's turnout, the margin of victory in California, it leads to the easy analysis that this is a repudiation of President Trump and his administration. But what's the story beyond that you see in these results nationwide?
Well, I mean, first thing to note is if we start here at home with Proposition 50, the idea that you could get Californians who resoundingly approved nonpartisan redistricting commissions as recently as 2008 and 2010 to approve a Democratic partisan gerrymander. That's exactly what they were trying to get rid of voters when they decided to take politics out of the redistricting process. The idea that voters would, on such a large margin, pass Proposition 50, I think, has to be understood as a response to Donald Trump. If you looked at the ads that were being run on TV, it was all kind of a referendum on Trump. Tom Steyer, who's maybe a gubernatorial hopeful, running ads like with a fake Donald Trump, and like the ad literally ended "Stick it to Trump." And I think that was really notable that Democrats want to play hardball now. They see Republicans engaged in gerrymandering in places like Texas, and this had to go before the voters for reasons having to do with California law. But the voters were on board. It wasn't just the legislators. And then if we zoom out, yeah, it's true. It's possible to think of all of this as a kind of a repudiation of Trump, but also the economy is faltering. We're in the middle of a shutdown. Just before we came on, I saw a story that about 10% of flights might be cut out of major airports tomorrow. So it's not just Trump directly. It's what's happening with tariffs. It's happening with the economy. And so it's not surprising. I think that I saw Nate Cohn, who actually of the New York Times, the Tilt newsletter, talking about how what was really surprising was the margins, and that just as polling in Trump years, when Trump's on the ballot, seems to understate Trump support, in midterm election years, it seems to understate the amount of Democratic turnout. So it used to be the Republicans turned out more in midterm elections. They were like the older, better educated, more established people with a long history of voting. A lot of those people have now moved to the Democratic Party, and now they're voting for Democrats and against Trump.
Professor, what about President Trump's analysis that the reason that Republicans fared so poorly was largely because of the shutdown? Republicans have been blamed for that. Is that a significant piece of what we saw?
You know, I haven't seen any detailed polling on that, but certainly, if you look at what the headlines are in the news, besides the air traffic controller issues, you have issues related to SNAP. And, besides the shutdown, I think what's happening in major U.S. cities with ICE, I think these things, the public doesn't necessarily approve of Trump's agenda. That you can see when Donald Trump was elected the second time, it was following a pattern around the country of the repudiation of those who were in office during COVID, and Biden presided over part of that period, a real anti-incumbent mood around the world. So there's a lot of factors. It's really hard to say which one is the most important. But this is kind of a bad omen for Republicans as they look forward to 2026. And I think that's actually important in thinking, as I'm sure we're going to talk about, the extent to which there might be more redistricting shenanigans coming from states in upcoming months.
I'm going to be back with you next week, along with Janice, Mel, and Zev, as I'll be talking with former CIA officer Stephen Cash. He heads the nonprofit advocacy group, The Steady State. It's made up of former U.S. intelligence veterans who were opposed to President Trump's actions. We'll be with you again. That's 5 o'clock Pacific time next Wednesday, right here for America at a Crossroads. Make sure you make your reservation and sign up to join us with the link. Thank you so much. Have a terrific rest of your evening.